So I'm going to chat to you for 5 to 10 minutes. And what I want to know, I want to learn a little bit more about your relationship, Gar's relationship with ACT. So tell me a tiny bit about you and the company, if you don't mind, Alan, please.
All right. My name's Alan Crowdy. I'm the export sales manager for Garr. I've been working with Garr for a little over 17 years. I've known Mychael for all that time. When I first started selling our product in the Northeast, I was working with a company that Mychael used to work for as well.
Yeah.
An overview of Garr, literally, we're a family-owned business in America, been around for 76 years. We're just about to probably change over to the third generation owners. The sons of the current owner are now vice presidents in the business. We work around the world through a select group of industrial distributors. We don't actually sell directly to any end user. We found this is the best way to get to market in many countries. We're specialised in solid carbide round tools, and we are famous globally for the inventory we keep and the support we offer. So, as I said, we're working really with, we have good relationships with our distributors, and we work on a partnership basis. So we try to work as closely as we can and support them in their efforts to provide solutions to the marketplace.
And Garr is a company that you've been at for 17 years, did you say?
Yeah, 17 years. Yeah.
Tell me again, how many years?
17 years.
Okay, cool. So how come you've been there that long? What is it about them that drew you in and kept you there, Alan?
I've worked for many companies in the cut and tool business. The guy I work for now, the owner of the business, doesn't treat you like a number. He treats you like a part of the family almost. So everybody in our business is regarded as an individual, as part of a massive team. It's quite interesting when he was interviewed when we did like a 75th anniversary. He said that he had 146 families working with him.
Okay.
So it is the extension of what you are. There's also important parts. So it's a little bit like the old American saying, "If mum's happy, everyone's happy." You know. So.
And on that subject, you know, one of the people you work pretty closely with is ACT, and you've known Mychael for as many years as you've been at Garr, of course. What is it about ACT? I mean, tell me about the ups and the downs. You know, this is a warts and all kind of thing. Tell me about your working relationship with ACT, if you don't mind. Tell me all about it.
I mean, it's been slow. I mean, I won't say a slow burner. We do get we have enjoyed good business with ACT. We have worked with them as Mychael's grown the business. Obviously, the personnel that have been added. I spend time in the Northeast working actually at the coalface with the customers, with the sales guys. What I like about ACT and the plus point is that the focus is really on providing solutions and not just providing tools, but actually providing tools that do the job properly, which is what I'm all about. I have an engineering background myself, so my focus with customers is to really make sure that they get what they need and the right tool for the job, if you get what I mean. So it's in.
Yeah, this is interesting to me because I've known Mychael on and off for a number of years, between 5 and 10 years, as I mentioned to you earlier. And I've always thought he was a very patient guy, considering he's there fundamentally to drive his business and therefore drive business. I often thought that, you know, and you tell me how you feel about this. Mychael, and by extension, you, of course, seem to be keen to give people the tools that the tools that they're best buying, rather than the tools that you want to sell, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in the approach, it would seem to me. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does very much, because in our industry, it's very much based upon reputation, reliability, and you're only really as good as the last job you do for somebody. Right? So, you know, the idea of trying to supply someone something that isn't going to do the job properly doesn't really fit in with that ethos. The idea is you build your credibility and your reputation based on the success that you provide to people and the money you save by productivity, rather than by saving a pound here or a pound there on the individual items.
So would you judge, at least in part, judge the success of Garr by how often, and not how often, but how long any given end user might buy that tool? So you're not interested in just flogging what you can today. you want to build a relationship. Is that a big measure of your success?
The measure of our success really is again, I mean, really across the industry, I suppose. If you're selling a consumable item like a cutting tool, the importance of longevity of customer. Our initial sale, when we make our initial sale to a customer, is usually not very high value at all. But the value comes in the repeatability of the business and the longevity of that business. And so making sure you've got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed and making sure you give the right thing is really what it's all about. I mean, I have an ethos myself, and it's probably the same at Garr too. We'd probably walk away from something we didn't feel comfortable with, or even recommend a competitor.
Yeah.
Rather than create a situation for ourselves where we lose the credibility that we've built up over time.
Yeah. It's really nice that we're talking about similar things I chat to Mychael about. I remember one time we were saying, it's actually quite easy to get the wrong tool to somebody really, really quickly, because there's a lot of urgency out there. But yeah, we can get you the wrong tool now if you like. We'll drive it over, but let's just pause for a second and work out what you're trying to do. And that's part of the way Garr thinks as well, is it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, our belief is that there are many, many good tooling companies in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
We have lots of good competitors, and those good competitors drive us forward to be better all the time. But the emphasis for us is, as I said, to provide the right tool. And what you said is very true. There's a flip side to that. You can make the best tool in the world, but if you can't deliver it, nobody can use it.
Yeah, this is interesting. So yeah,
it's getting the balance right. And what we've tried to do is we've tried to work with good solutions, good technical solutions, but also make the availability second to none.
Here's a question then, just because I haven't thought about this before. The two major things that Mychael seems to talk to me about in ACT are the ones that you've said, which are the correct cutting tool, so it's the accuracy of the prescription, and the speed by which the end user can get it, and then it's either the guys and gals on the shop floor or the purchasing managers and the different needs that they have. I guess people are driven by price, and the guys and gals on the shop floor want to minimize downtime, it would seem to me, this kind of different pressures. Is there anything else you want to add to that kind of ecosystem that I've rabbited on about for a few seconds there? What other pressures are there in your world, please?
The pressures in our world, really, again, I mean, obviously technology is changing constantly. And the need for change when we have a situation like we've had at the moment with the pandemic, where businesses are struggling and they're going to be looking in future to be even more competitive than they are today. So there's a constant drive forward for technology. So I think that working with a company that supplies the right solutions, it keeps driving forward. As I said, it keeps us improving our end game, if you like.
Yeah.
So that's sort of on. And we're constantly striving for new ideas. We're working a lot in the Northeast with industries like, for example, the oil and gas, which are very fast-paced, very demanding type applications. So to be able to work in that type of sector, you have to have all those things in place to make sure that you come up with the right product at the right time and so on, and the right price.
You've been doing it a long time, so it seems to me you've got a lot of experience to draw on, it would seem to me.
Probably too much, to be honest.
Okay, well,
I don't think you can ever have too much. I mean, the thing about experience is it's, as I said, the world's always changing. So there's never a day goes by where I don't learn something new, even though I've been in it for 35, nearly 40 years.
If there's any year that's taught us that, it is 2020, isn't it, really? And 2021 that we're in now, of course, just to timestamp this little video. Just before we go then, Alan, is there anything on the subject of Garr, because this is a little video that's going to live in the world of ACT, and the people who have a dialogue and a conversation and a relationship with ACT are going to see this video. With relations to your company and its working relationship with Advanced Cutting Tools Group, is there anything you would want to mention before we go?
Just that I believe that we're both very, very happy with the way that our business relationship works. There's an element of respect and trust with each other. As I said, because of the way that ACT work and Garr work, we work very, very closely and align ourselves really well. I just feel that Mychael, in his way, in the Northeast, has offered something which maybe the market has really needed.
Mm.
in a sense of just not selling product and actually, providing solutions, if you like. And as I said, we've worked alongside him, and we will continue to do so because it's what we're doing is working. The business is growing. So
And are there a couple of things about Garr which you'd want people to tune into and remember, please, Alan? I know you've got a really wide range of your itinerary is big, but are there a
yeah.
couple of things that you would want people to remember more than anything else about Garr, please?
I think one of the things to remember, or we'd like to remember, is that, as I said, it's at the end of the day, we believe that business is a marathon race and not a sprint. So therefore, we work really hard to retain customers and work hard with the people that work with us. The other thing I would say is that we're constantly striving for new things, new ways of tackling the market. So as a business, although it's a traditional family business with the longevity, we're still very dynamic in the way that we go to market, in the sense of trying to come up with things which deal with the changing trends in the marketplace.
Okay. All right. Well, that's really good of you. Thank you very much. Chat again soon. Thanks a lot, Alan. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.